Climate change, once thought of as a mere remote phenomenon, yet its impacts too dire to overlook. The threat of climate change is real. It is here, and it is happening too quickly for many species to adapt. Nations are crying. Zambia has not been spared. Indeed, we are facing the biggest environmental challenge of our time. Accelerated climate change is anticipated to have wide-ranging effects on the future sustainability of the Earth. This is all due to the adverse ecological, social, and economic impacts. Therefore, climate change mitigation and adaptation is becoming increasingly important to the nations, Zambia included. In response to the effects of climate change, Zambia has embarked on a 6-year pilot program for climate resilience, PPCR. The project objective is to strengthen the country's institutional framework for climate resilience and improve the adaptive capacity of vulnerable communities in the Barotse and the Kafue sub-basins. One of the 2 flagship projects under the pilot program for climate resilience is the Strengthening Climate Resilience in the Kafue sub-basin, SCRICA.
Currently, SCRICA is implementing projects in 11 districts in 3 provinces, namely Lusaka, Southern and Central provinces. And the developmental project objective is to improve the capacity of, adaptive capacity of vulnerable communities in the Kafue sub-basin. As you are aware, the Kafue sub-basin is a floodplain. During rainy season, most of the areas get cut off from the other areas, thereby disrupting connectivity and a number of activities.
At first, a risk and vulnerability study was done, which informed what kind of interventions should be made in the Kafue sub-basin.
This season, it started raining in December instead of October. So it fluctuates, but the ending we find it is always end of March. So when it starts late, you find the crops become affected.
And that is why we could see some animals, the grazing areas, areas are dry in terms of water. And for a stage specifically, if you were to do a borehole here, it will even take you beyond the 110 meters down for you to find water. Most of the areas where we sink boreholes, we find that they are dry boreholes, unless otherwise you are just lucky.
Problem just so no jindija rain season kuti bridge yazula ingaba natabasike kuchikolo kuti na kuti bajanika kuchikolo kuti yazula menda ngatabayenke kumanganda kwabo
oyu mugwagwa kutani ngaba twali kujana buyu mugwa kusambala izishango Yesu kwali kunga kuti imayinza akujaniki yakale kutani ngasambala kwali kunga ndipenzi kunjibwa hindi mapopo ali kuhula ikunyongana
kali mapehi mbona mbukubelo niyo mapehi otati hula yawa wehi bara shanji babikela ho kabode somyo tatenda kwamboye bitetehi uye kunamwala hakwina kwenda.
Because climate change affects many aspects of the community lives, crops, water, infrastructure, and health, SCRICA project is primarily community-driven. There are 3 components that are being implemented under the Strengthening Climate Resilience in the Kafue Sub-Basin project, SCRICA.
Under component 1, we have community-driven adaptation projects, whereby the communities themselves identified and came up with areas of interventions that are appropriate for their communities, which is a bottom-up approach. And so there we are implementing various community projects which are bordering on provision of access to water through solar-powered boreholes. Others would go for maybe goat rearing, where we support them with improved goat housing structures, which go with a hand pump, as well as the drinking trough and such interventions.
Component 2 is looking at improving infrastructure to make it climate-proof. This component includes a huge project of constructing a climate-resilient road. It is a pilot project meant to see how rural feeder roads can be constructed in the face of climate change, especially in areas which are prone to floods, such as the Kafue sub-basin. Component 3 is project management and administration. This includes the project implementation unit, finance management, and procurement support.
And so the road, the stretch is a total of about 240 kilometers. So the road stretches from Kalomo to Itejteji via Dundumwezi, and it's got 4 links. Link 1 runs from Kalomo to Dundumwezi Gate, the National Park, Kafue National Park, and link 2 runs from the Kafue National Park Gate of Dundumwezi up to the Ngoma Gate in Itejteji. And then link 3 runs from the Ngoma Gate to Itejteji town, the CBD. And then link 4 runs from the Itejteji town up to the Namwala pontoon, but not crossing beyond into Namwala.
The Kafue sub-basin is basically a floodplain. When it gets flooded, it cuts off people from communities from the next district.
Ma problems ngutu au kwete mwata kuna kuva mkwa kwa wezu makamaka mu chindi cha mainza mu rain season ihira keyanika mehi umahira mumu so kuhiza kono kuchipatira twakuyana uzumuzumu maningi.
At the beginning there is more challenge for us actually. Yes, before we came, the road is cut off by water. Most of our places is planned earlier. Yeah, and our machine, and even the vehicle can't go through the park, can't go through, check the routes.
The purpose of making the roads climate resilient is to enable them connect the district for the reasons of providing access to markets for the farmers. As in Component 1, the communities are participating in various activities that are producing livestock and other agricultural produce.
We were cut off from here to Iteshiteshi because this Bachele bridge was damaged every time. So when it is raining, we are not able to pass. The direct link for my business is easement of moving from my farm to the market point of my town. I was taking 1 hour. This time I'm driving 15 to 20 minutes, I'm in town. I can go 5 times in a day, delivering my goods.
Aside from the farmers, there are also the tourists who will be benefiting from this climate-resilient road.
We are now seeing, an increase in the numbers of tourists coming to the park. Before this road was put in place, it was difficult to access the southern part of KNP. But now this road has really opened up, this vast wilderness. So now we are able to have kind of, a year-round tourism season.
What really makes this road climate resilient are the special features embedded in the design. The embankment. Where the road is passing through flood-prone areas, the road has been raised to as high as 3 meters. topsoil is put back on the sides in order to allow for vegetation to grow and hold the soil together. In some areas where they have done the culverts, they have done some stone pitching. It has only been done in vulnerable areas that have a lot of movement of water. This design compacts and prevents erosion of the road. The culverts. The size and number of culverts used are dependent on the severity of the flood in an area. Culverts as big as 2.4 by 2.4 meters have been used in some cases. The flood should never be allowed to overtop the road, lest it damages it. Another feature that speaks to climate change is the borrow pit. In the process of constructing the road, gravel or sand is obtained from some place and delivered to the construction site. This is the result, a borrow pit. Ideally, the pit has to be restored after extraction to make the environment safe.
Yeah, we restored it because the people is worried about during the rain season, the people like the dam. Yeah, then after rain season, then the animal and the field, they need the water. So people request us, leave the borrow pit, you just make the bank just gentle.
Kampani ne panga mikwa kwa ilu tusile kalina koza kweza nto kulisali komu kwa kweyo nuseza mezi so kale nerufuma nanga ma difficulties azini washemi baruna ne bayanga kwa hule fakuli zionwa mezi neri distance but azini factually pulai kalile kulatea ni baba balupangezi mikwa kwa balutusiza hulu azini kwa kunisali komu mezi.
Despite being a gravel road, the climate-resilient road boasts of appropriate road signs and features. With the special features in place, it is expected that the climate-resilient road will be able to keep families, communities, and districts linked for many more years. The total length of Link 1 is 73 kilometers, from the T1 junction in Kalomo to Dundumwenzi Gate of the National Park. On this link, works are still ongoing. The works on Link 1 should have started from the Livingstone T junction. But the contractor had to start from the bridge. This is because the area from the bridge going to the T junction is residential and has a lot of activities. There may be need for the communities to be shifted in order to clear the way for the contractor to do the works.
And so these decisions needed to be made in order for the contractor to really commence works on that stretch. That's why it was skipped, but it's also part of the stretch that has to be worked on.
Much more works still remain to be done on Link 1. This portion was commenced much later, owing to flooding in the Kafue National Park. Despite the delays, the contractor is determined to complete the works on schedule. Link 2 runs from Dundumwezi Gate to Ngoma headquarters of the Kafue National Park. Currently, progress is about 80%.
And the total length now is 104 kilometers.
Link 3 has a total distance of 19.3 kilometers. 4 borrow pits were created in the national park. They have since been restored. A total of 36 culverts were installed. In terms of embankment, this road was raised to almost 1 meter. Link 3 stretches from Ngoma headquarters up to Iteji town at the Sino hydropower station. This section is almost done. Road signs fitted. This makes driving in the park safer for both motorists and the wildlife.
Yeah, I think actually we have been done. Now we will be started the maintenance. The total length falling for is 48 kilometers. And for the embankment, there we get 4 or 3 points to rise the road.
The Strengthening Climate Resilience in the Kafue Sub-Basin project, SCRICA, is expected to foster food security, sustainable growth, and poverty reduction by strengthening the adaptive capacity of 800,000 rural communities in the Kafue Sub-Basin.
Actually, this road cuts across all the 5 pillars of the 7th National Development Plan. If we take the first pillar, which talks about economic diversification and job creation, it has got a result area of export-oriented agriculture and other economic activities. Through that pillar, we've seen where the people around here are able to export their agricultural produce and their fish harvest, which translates into the outcomes of the other pillars like poverty reduction and vulnerability and enhancing development. We had problems of service delivery in this area due to the very bad road. Now that the road has been worked on, we're able to provide boreholes and other developmental issues through this road.
Kwena ichi patara chaisa fe bari no bari ne olulu ineni shino musebo uli wa number 1 bali pangile kota wali taula wamishi wafi twalenda bwangu kuisafika pano bati kwalesa inkokwe bati ya mioto kamwaima ya jomba iliyo ifiri ndi munshira imofyali sana ilibanga kulingana ngapali ino shiteri batu wamishe ko musebo panteta na ngutwaima ne patara na fifulano musebo batu bikira so na kuwa masa no kuchira fintu kwali.
Yeah, the difference that we've seen is great because we're able to call an ambulance at any time and it comes as fast as we need it. Then the other improvement is that those home deliveries, they are not all that as before. So there is great improvement because people are able to come fast to the clinic.
This road has brought so many social activities to the district. It has created employment to the locals, especially the youths.
Ipe hili suka yeye ya kupenga myota ketenda kabotu. Ibe pange lodi. Bi myota ya kanka kwenda kabotu transport ya kutola kunini kukipatela na. Twakabotelwa kuyana kwamba lodi aba ahwahwi ama no myota yanka kuita minji. So transport tatupengi.
As in any new project, not everyone receives the project well.
Kutanguna twati tukashashambe twati tukakake chinta koja kumajimba. Twati tukakake twamba mbawa drive balanda kutwandula kati balanda kutuhapa atunange ishi. Yenkalangija lusumpuko muchishi changu mono. Uswentuli kumbali kulodi yo intwaba kumbali kulodi. Ikalengija lusumpuko kambo bonse balimi bakala kuhumbezwa shanga ndikoa ndipushi lalukanka kuya kujima kulodi kwamba bamupeko ulya chigayo bamupeko kufumbwa cha pengele endela kwanda na kwamba dalangirira ndamba yaba change twaliokeja ipe hitukala soa.
Lodi tulibotelelwe kambo twayana lusumpuko kambo konse kuchishikuli lodi lusumpuko kuluri kambo kutukuntu kwina olo mulalima mapopwe no mulatola kwini mwina uchenda kaima motoka kwina iyo bole mbuto yana kwamba ati lodi batubikira kukuti asiko no kwashezungu tuyita kuti twasumpuka twabotelwa maningi lodi nje batubikira bamfulumende twabotelwa maningi tuyete mbaola lodi nimboto amana ile ya muntu na bindene kaindika shonto buyo ulashika kwaya na lodi kambo tatunakuza tuyebona lodi kwashezungu pe so ngu first time kutubikira lodi muchishi so twabotelwa maningi kwamba uti nuzanda kwa Livingstone ulaya olo yekwi ulaya kambo ka lodi nje batubikira tulibotelwe maningi.
Indeed, The impact of the climate-resilient road on the lives of the people in the Kafue sub-basin is apparent. Yet, there always remains areas of concern.
Yes, it has brought a lot actually. We are able to go to Itashitashi, we don't spend the night there, and come back. Though it is only 48 kilometers or 40 from these areas to Itashitashi, in the past, the road was very bad. Sometimes it could be these bridges. There's 2-3 bridges which would be affected. During the rainy season, you find we are cut off. And just the speed of vehicles was affected. Sometimes you'd leave the main road, you go divert there and here. But this time we just take about 20 minutes from here. We are in the Boma. And then we are back. So that is actually what we have benefited. Also the rates. This road used to cost about 120 kwacha from Itashitashi to Namwala. But because of the road, it is now somewhere around 60 kwacha, which is 50% reduction in bus fares. Yes, the two districts actually are sister districts in Namwala and Itashitashi. But we get cut off by this river. It has separated. So during the rainy season, you find that we don't have much contact with each other. Even if there is a pontoon, it doesn't move from here up to the Boma. It is just getting people from here up to there. So when the plain is flooded, we have to find our own means to get to the Boma, mainly using speedboats. And those are also risky, and they can't carry cargo.
Ivi opens ndio tujana kumaga ni road wigama ndio turanjio yagajea tairi honto kuyombe tayigo hingi igwinda na mamota gaturibite so iga party twara penzi maningi jindi lyari gwahura kwari unga hungwa gutedeni wainka ko iri kumbari road mota yari kurwana gutedeni kubata yachitabuti yawa.
I'm appealing to government to help us on this same road. This China state should not leave in 2 years' time. They must stay here and observe the road for 5 years or more. If they find the road was not fixed in good condition, they must redo the road until they reach on that level, on that level of putting the tarmac, which you have a guarantee of more years.
The budget, $17.9 million. The result, a stretch of about 240 kilometers of climate-resilient roads. Very cost-effective, yet serves a very important purpose, providing access, even in the face of climate change, even in the face of flooding. This is a pilot project that can be replicated in other areas. It can save government huge amounts of money when it comes to building feeder roads in rural areas.